Before I answer this question, I'm going to acknowledge that the first place trophy and the participation trophy, both are bullshit. Both are bullshit. Because what we know is this: the person that ends up at number one isn't always the person that should be number one. I have seen school systems that have a criteria for valedictorian, yet when minority children start becoming the valedictorian, they get rid of valedictorians altogether. We have a whole situation where Caitlin Clark was on the losing team. I don't know the coach's name of the winning team, and I don't know any of the players on the winning team. But the person that got all of the press was Caitlin Clark. I watched on this app where a young black girl talked about how she worked in corporate America and went above and beyond for her job, trained the people up under her. And you know what happened? She trained her replacement, and then they fired her. So when you talk about being mediocre, are we talking about mediocre effort that people give? Because a lot of times that's rewarded. How many of us have bosses that we look at and we're like, this person is an idiot? And then we look at what they produce and we're like, this is terrible. But yet somehow or another, they're the boss. How many times has the person that's worked the hardest been overlooked? So what are we talking about when we talk about being mediocre? Okay, I think that at its core is what we need to talk about. And rather than talking about the individuals in the system, we need to talk about how the system is biased. So yeah, if a kid shows up, they do their part on the team, even if it's just sitting on the bench because we need a certain number of people on the team. Yeah, they should get a trophy for saying they showed up and did their part. They didn't have to go out and score the most number of baskets. And quite frankly, that's just the luck of the genetics draw. You think that Michael Jordan worked as hard as some of these other players? No, he had a genetic disposition to be who he was. So it's not even about effort all the time. We have to start acknowledging that these systems are not fair. It's not that the people participating in the systems are treated unfairly, which sometimes they are, but the entire system is unfair. So regardless of what type of participation trophies or whatever we put out, a lot of times the system is rigged. And that this mediocre, it doesn't matter.